Hey, my super beautiful, lovely, gorgeous souls. Lizzie the Lightworker here. Welcome, guys. We're heading into 2020. So today's video is going to be for Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo fire signs in separation, twin flame. What energies are you carrying all year? What energy was your twin carrying all year? What you need to release, what they need to release. Over the next 3 months, can you expect progress, contact, what's going to be happening, and then energies to adopt or release going into 2020. So if you'd like to hear all that and more, please stay tuned, and we're going to jump right into this, okay? So we're starting with Aries. Aries twin flame. So Aries, what energy, what attitude, what spirit were you carrying all year in regards to your twin flame? Okay, so I feel like you really wanted to provide. You wanted to have money. You wanted to have savings. You wanted to have something to show, like something to bring to the table. I feel like this really says you are trying to get your shit together for the better, for the betterment, for wanting to be better, for planning for the better. I feel like that's an energy that it really kind of made sense that you need to start thinking about the future. You really need to start thinking about what you're going to do when you're older, as part of your spiritual journey. But towards your twin, I feel like you really were working on, or still working on, or wanting to work on what you have to give, like what you have that's physical, what you have that is like on paper or like in front of you. You are showing them, or wanting to show them, that you have what it takes. You have a lot to bring to the table. You've been doing this all year. I feel like a lot of future planning, not really a lot about the past. I feel like you're in an energy where you're trying to let go of the past and the past things and focusing on the future, okay? So what was an energy that your twin was carrying all year? Very fiery and creative energy. I feel like they were focused on themselves, focused on things that had to do with their career and their path, and things that they could do to sort of make things more interesting in their life and explore talents that they've wanted to explore. They're in a very productive type of an energy, and I do feel a lot of job related stuff. Like they're in a very productive time right now. They're carrying an energy of extreme passion for you, whether it was outwardly expressed or not. They are carrying an energy of extreme passion. There's a drive behind it. It's like a force within itself. They're definitely carrying a torch for you, okay? They're trying really, really hard to stay sort of practical and keep their head about them, and they're trying to really focus on their job and their career and their money and everything, because it's taking their attention away from obsessing over you, okay? So they're really working hard. I feel like all the passions are there. It's like very magnetic sort of attraction that you both still feel for one another. And I just feel like there's like this need to show it, like this need to prove it, like wanting them to see you doing well, like on social media, or hear it through the grapevine, or see something that relates to you, that they see that you're doing well. There's something about producing and something about being seen doing it, or wanting to be noticed or seen doing it, okay? So that's sort of the energy. Now we're going to talk about what do you need to release, because we could also talk about heal, because when I say release a lot of the time, I do mean heal too. So let's get, okay, so what do you need to release going into 2020? Boundaries. Wow. So you may have boundaries that you've put up as a direct result of separation from twin, and feeling like you need to bubble yourself up, or you need to close the world out, because it simply is painful to think about, to talk about, and you want to put up a front. You don't want anybody to see you hurting over this. You don't want anybody to see you, upset. So you put up a front. Really within, you're hurting over this, very much so. So, but putting up boundaries with other people, not letting anybody else in, not letting even like other potential love interests come in, because we do have to have our karmics and we do have to have our soulmate connections. You're just sort of closed off to everything right now, and very much thinking of your twin. It's sort of like retrospective, where you're going within. You're not like really showing it. You're not letting anyone know that this is how you're feeling. It's sort of like hidden feelings, sort of like bottled up or like closed off a bit. And I feel like this comes in cycles, definitely. So what does your twin need to release? Resilience. So they might have a hard time with like asking for help, or when the going gets tough, they just get tougher. They might get a little bitter because of it. So they need to like really surrender or release the fact that they need help sometimes, okay? And it could be that you were trying to help them and they were resistant to it. And they wanted to prove their strength to themselves or to the world or whatever it is. They want to prove themselves to you. Like, I don't need you, or I can handle this without you. Like, there's something about not wanting to give in here, okay? So sort of a need to give in, like where, like I said, when you need help or you're carrying a huge load, sometimes we need to unload it. And they're not doing that. They're keeping everything, like I said, bottled up or on their back, like a very much of a burden. So they would need to start to release some of that, start to let some things, fall away. This to me feels like years and years of things, even before you came along. So it's really, they're carrying this burden. It's like they almost like they want a trophy or they want validation for it, but they're not sharing their feelings about it. Okay. So what to expect within the next 3 months or so. And we have a positive card. So I feel like these issues will be getting resolved. And you'll be feeling more connected to yourselves, because that's what this journey is about, is like the self connection, how you see yourself, not how others see you, more so how you see yourself, or trying to change yourself to fit another's perspective of you or vision of you. To me, this is just a positive changes, acceptance, I feel like coming in, and more of like positive feelings towards each other. There could even be connection. I feel like there's still some ego here, but it's starting to, sort of shed away a bit, and really just having a positive attitude to go into the next 3 months. I feel like all of this is going to change to a positive, like can do, like unstoppable Aries energy. Okay. So what's an energy to either release or adopt going into 2020? An energy to release or adopt. Adopt an energy of healing, okay? To me, this feels like the past has to go, shedding it away. We're coming into a new era, a new time, where all the things of the past are almost throwing themselves out at you, wanting to be rescued, saved, fixed, diminished, buried, all these things. Imagine you're like in a battlefield of emotions and all these things are coming out. You feel like you were under attack or made fun of or teased when you were younger. Rejection, sadness, sexuality things, intimacy things, burdens that you feel, childhood wounds, memories of friends that you may not talk to anymore, or you feel like you messed up with something. All this stuff is coming out, and it's coming out because it wants to be dealt with and healed. Okay. So that's going into your 2020 Aries. All right. So now let's move on to Leo. Leo with your twin flame. What is an energy that you were carrying all year, Leo? What's an energy that you were carrying all year? Queen of Pentacles, I feel like you were trying to really get stability, really make yourself either known in the business world or trying to do things with your career, work yourself up and towards better. I feel like you wanted recognition. You might have been feeling like you weren't getting it the way that you deserved it. I also feel like you want the recognition from your twin, and your twin may not be giving it to you. Or in separation, you feel like you really only have yourself to rely on. So this may have taught you some self-reliance where, you're becoming more responsible for yourself. You're becoming more responsible for your actions and money and saving and doing things right and being more practical and grounded and getting organized. To me, that's the energy that you may have been carrying, and definitely for yourself and towards your twin. What's an energy they were carrying all year? So they were trying to clear their head. They were trying to get better perspectives on this whole thing with you. They were trying to cut through sort of the lies and the bullshit and the lies they may have been telling themselves or you. Really like renewal to me. This is like thinking, a new way of thinking. You may have caused them to now do a new way of thinking and them for you as well. To me, this is also partially new communications. So they may want to communicate with you, but they just don't know how or what to say yet. They may be just still looking for that clarity and looking for clarity of their beliefs. So if they were to, try to contact you or talk to you, they're thinking, what would you say? What would you do? How would you react? They're trying to compose what they want to say. I feel like this is just going to be sort of a new leaf for them and also for you in the way that you think about the future and the past and the now. Okay, so they're carrying an energy of a lot of thought and new ways of thinking. So what is something that, you might need to release? What is something that you may need to release? Patience. So it could be that you have had to resist the urge to be under anybody's thumb, okay? Like waiting, sitting around. I feel like this is a sign for you to start to make your own progress, even if you don't know what you really want or what you're doing. As long as you're moving towards betterment, I feel like it's okay. I feel like this is kind of like cycles where you will go through cycles of being patient and then impatient. So there is something here with patience. So you have to decide what you want to wait for, what you want to move on. I feel like that's more or less for you to decide like yourself and really reflect on the things that you want. It's a sign for you to do that. What is an energy or something that your twin maybe needs to release or sort of submit to in 2020, going into 2020? Purity. So I feel like this has to do with releasing anything bad from their past or anything that they feel like they've done wrong or they feel like they've committed sins or things that they have stuck on them. Like sometimes we get labels stuck on us and we don't let them go like forever. It could be from high school bullies. It could be from just bullshit that you just dealt with from other people at your job. Or in other words, you get like a taint on you sort of. So to me, this is like for them, they need to shed things like that and get back to their pure self and their pure purpose. And really, I feel like this is someone that is very good-hearted and wants to help others. But I feel like they did get lost and under the veil of the twin flame separation. They're just now wanting to sort of like come out of that. So that's part of their energy, and part of the release is for them, sort of to just let that old self die off and those old ways die off like winter and wait for spring when there's renewal. So I feel like they're in a period of renewal, or they're going into a period of renewal where they need to release things from the past. So over the next 3 months, what type of energy will there maybe be contact, that sort of thing. So we're getting, there could possibly be. I feel like this is one of those things where it is continuously up and down, the energy between you and your twin, Leo. I feel like this is saying that decisions will be made. So decisions about wanting to contact you or not, or you wanting to contact them or not. It's going to be ups and downs. I feel like you might reach out, they might not say anything. Then a couple of months may go by, they reach out, you might not say anything. I feel like there's a little bit of a psychomatic type thing here. Okay, so just sort of, I think, distinguishing too between feelings, right and wrong, left and right, black and white, all those ways. Healed, not healed, those, in other words, it's like it's going to be a little bit of a balancing act for you, to come to a realization. And I do feel like you will know what one is the right one, but you might stay stuck in that energy where you're just wanting to do this juggling instead of facing the problems or facing what you need to face. Or releasing what maybe you don't want to. I feel like if you let go, you'll lose something. Okay. So that's going to be something for you to, focus on. And then what is an energy to adopt or release going into the future, going into 2020? We're going to release sorrow. We're going to want to release sorrow. So any sorrows from the past, any sorrow that you're hoarding or holding on to, sorrow over your twin being in separation. You might have a lost loved one recently. There's sorrow in your, direct path. So it's overcoming sorrow. And also sorrow from the past, like anything that you didn't deal with, or old lovers that hurt you, or things that you didn't resolve, or maybe, you have regrets over a lost loved one or something like that. Sorrow, okay? That's an energy to release going into 2020. So more about release than adopt. Sagittarius, baby, it's your season. Here we go. So twin flame Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, what energy were you carrying all year? The Emperor. So you were getting real serious. I feel like you were trying to get more responsible. You were trying to sort of stick to the rules. You were being sort of authoritative. You were being like the boss, the grounded, practical, stable boss. Little bit unemotional, a little bit reserved with emotions. So you may have been learning that, or you still need to learn to, try to show emotion a little bit more. Being very, very, very practical. Like, this is how it is. This is what I want to do. Sort of standing in your truth, not letting anybody persuade you or sway you away. You feel like you need to be this for your twin. You want to be this for your twin. You want them to know it. You want them to appreciate the fact that you're like this. You're a stable person. And you have that vision. You want to share that with somebody. You want somebody to be on your level when it comes to the way a relationship is, or the way a relationship should be. That's your feelings. So what energy was your twin carrying all year? Queen of Swords. So a little bit defensive, a little bit cold, a little bit more logical. So they were trying to get the logics out of this. They're trying to figure out, they're really in their head. They're in their head about this whole separation. I feel like they're a little bit defensive. So they're in an energy where they're defensive. They need to sort of let go a little bit of the immediate hurts that they were feeling from this separation, or things that were from the past that were said. I feel like you're both a little bit stubborn right now and set in your ways. So that's a little bit of that energy. I feel like that's more so for you both to clear that on your own and try to think, like, if you really care and really want the connection, what you need to do to be your best self and release whatever you can that's hurting you. And I know you will go there in your head, because to me this is about thought and thinking a lot. So you're both thinking a lot about each other and a lot about the actions that you've done and the things that you've said and done to each other. And there's a little bit of defensiveness there and a little bit of, I don't want to budge on this. So that's a little bit of the energy. What you need to maybe release. What maybe you need to release. We're getting fruitation. So releasing the fact that just because you're putting in the effort doesn't mean you're going to get everything that you want. It's like, I worked so hard, and I'm not getting what I want. It's like the work is continuous. So I feel like you might need to surrender or release to the fact that you may not get every little bit of what you want, and just sort of kind of be happy that things are becoming more fruitful, but not the fixation of it. Okay. So losing the fixation energy a little bit. So what is something that they maybe need to release, your twin, in the next couple of months? So we're getting surrender. So they may need to surrender more. Like, we got this card, like, surrender to their feelings. Stop trying to push them away. Stop trying to not acknowledge them. That's what your twin is dealing with. It could be a little bit of what you're dealing with, but your twin mainly is dealing with this, where they need to let things go from the past. They're very guarded about it. They feel like if they let it go or let it out, it makes them weak. They need to come into the energy where letting go makes them strong, if that makes any sense. They're really struggling with this though. And they definitely know sort of more now than they did before that they do need to do this in order to have like happy relationships. So that's something that they would be working on. So over the next 3 months, what can we expect? I feel like there's going to be more running from yourselves, more running from each other, and more running from yourselves. Some of these things are really deep-seated. They're so deep that they might even be forgotten, and shades of them come out, like from childhood shit. I feel like certain things are like a no-no, like I'm not talking about that, I'm not going there, like no way. There's a lot of defensiveness and a lot of wanting to run still, okay? So a lot of these things have not come to maturity, the thoughts, the feelings. There's a lot of repression, so I feel like a lot of running from that and not wanting to face it, and sort of like avoidance, and also sort of tiptoeing around it. So there's a lot more to go. I don't feel like in 3 months there will be a lot of contact. I feel like there's going to be a lot of struggle to get this done and get this out and face these things, because there's lots of stuff here. It's not just 1-2 things. I feel like this is stuff that is built up about past stuff and twin, okay? So energy to adopt going into 2020. What is an energy to adopt or release? Pride. So you're going to want to release pride. You can be proud and be gracious about certain things, but pride is more so where you can't swallow something that really holds you back in life, or something that is very abrasive to other people that, you know, you're very stubborn about, or willful about, that you're not willing to let go of. So that is a shield. It is preventing you from growth, progress, movement, anything. It's sort of keeping you in a box with pride labeled right across it, like that is restricting you from growing and getting more, you know, positive and learning more peace. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please let me know what you think. Give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to check the link in my description box for my Twin Flame Separation Support Group information on Facebook. Also, my private reading information. Go follow me on Instagram. Follow the Rainbow Moon, and on Facebook as Rainbow Moon Readings, my business page. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. I really love to do this for you. And happy holidays. Love and light.